everyone. Welcome to Good Follow presented by DraftKings. I'm Roz Goldonwede, and today on this episode, we have an exclusive interview with somebody that I've been covering since her college career and now into the pros. She is a 2024 WNBA champion. She's only a second-year player out of Colorado, where she was a two-time All Pac-12 selection, and now newly of the Minnesota Lynx, my girl, Jaylyn Sherrod. What's up, Jaylyn?
How much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate it with you. I mean, the fact that you made time for this, you just told me this is your first day in Minnesota.
Yeah, it's been a day, but it's been smooth so far. I can't complain for real.
Yeah, like, can you actually take me through what this last week has been like for you? Because if I could even just go like August 1st, the New York
Mhm.
Liberty announced that they waived you. Then Saturday, August 9th. So we're talking about 1 week. You get picked up by the Lynx. And then the very next Sunday, the very next day. So Sunday, 1 day later, you're playing against your old team in the New York Liberty. And interestingly enough, your schedule, the next two games are also against the Liberty. So
Yeah.
can you just take me through all of that?
Yeah, it's been a hell of a week. A very emotional week. I feel like initially, I mean, getting waived wasn't a surprise or a shock or anything. We knew it was coming. It was just business. So it wasn't no like bad feelings or love lost there. They made a decision, so they had to do what they had to do. But just more so like saying goodbye to like the relationships and friendships I had built over the past year and some change. But then stayed in Brooklyn. I gave myself the week, honestly, because I didn't know what was happening and I didn't know what was going to happen. The trade deadline was happening as well, so it was just a lot of moving parts. And I stayed in Brooklyn, stayed to myself. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and I had a solid week. If you ask me, I was chilling. So um then Minnie called and they were like, we want to sign you, and I was like, okay. It was a little, I mean, the finals last year and everything, I was kind of like, I don't
Mhm.
know where this is going, but they gave me an opportunity, and like I said, it's business at the end of the day. And I said this yesterday too, like, just because the name across the front changed, don't mean the mission do. So it's still trying to win a championship
Mhm.
and do whatever I can to help my team. So it just
Mhm.
is what it is. But no, it was
Yeah.
crazy. Yesterday was crazy being back in Barclays and being on the other side. Yeah, it was a little different, but I had fun. We got the win. So first game in the Lynx uniform with a dub. So I ain't
Mhm.
mad at it. Dubs in the chat. It is what it
Dubs
is.
in the chat. Dubs in the chat, but obviously you're in the building that, you know, so many Liberty fans loved you, the team loved you. Were there any special moments, good hellos, goodbyes that you had with certain players?
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot. The fans were very welcoming, and everybody for the most part was just happy that I got picked up and I got another opportunity. But yeah, the teammates, it's just been a week, man. I actually got to say goodbye to a couple of them earlier during the week. I said goodbye to a lot of them in Connecticut when I left initially. So yeah, I got to see Tosh before the game. The video they gave right before the game was
Hmm.
really sweet. Um, and yeah, so I didn't get to talk to a lot of them, but at the game because we got on the road right after. But I mean, I'll see them over the next week anyway. But no, the video and just the fans more than anything was just really touching and really sweet. And just to know, like, even though I didn't play all the minutes in the world, I still had an impact there, and I still meant something to that fan base and that team means something to me because it just goes to show like you still have impact no matter what.
Hmm.
So yeah, it was cool. It was cool.
Yeah, no, the video tribute is deserving. You're a champion, and those fans, they loved you. I mean, when you got on the court, man, people go went crazy. And let's just talk about part of why people fell in love, just even the journey of your rookie season. From going undrafted, last draft out of Colorado to being waived by the Liberty, then getting re-picked up by the Liberty to sticking with them throughout the season and winning a championship. Can you talk about just your rookie season and navigating some of the extreme highs and lows that you had to as a rookie?
Yeah, for sure. I think for me, it was just more about being with my feet were. I think last year was a tough journey for me, just in a new environment and a new space, and learning how to navigate, constant changes. Um, Going undrafted wasn't planned, so that started it all. But then, going to training camp and actually, I feel like more so training camp proved to myself that I could play in this league, and I was like, all right, we're good. Like, I just need a shot. And then getting cut and going back home was the toughest because I still had to stay motivated. I still had to stay ready. I still had to, put in work without knowing where the work was going. Um, and so then got the call to come back up. And it was just like, I mean, it was smooth sailing because I was in training camp and I knew everybody already. So it wasn't that much of an adjustment. But last year, in general, I've always said delay, not denied, and I've always said that it taught me to be with my feet where it taught me how to be a good teammate, even though I
Hmm.
wasn't playing 40 minutes. It taught me how to, show up for people, even though I didn't feel like I was, getting what I wanted out of the situation, and just like how to still be present even on days you don't feel like being present. So that was not something I really had to worry about in college because like I didn't have the luxury of not being present at Colorado. I didn't have the luxury of,
Hmm.
not showing up on a game. It was, for 5 years, it was kind of I was the engine and the energy behind that team. So I had to show up. I knew that was my job. Whereas here it was more so like, you're not the one that's always getting looked at. You're not always being the one that's dependent on a high pressure moments or whatever, whatever. So what do you do? How do you still, make an impact? How do you still be a good teammate? How do you still show up in a new
Hmm.
role? So it really taught me how to just be a good teammate. And I think that was the biggest lesson of all. And obviously winning the championship is a blessing. Um, it was a lot to take in because I think I said in one of the videos, like I wasn't even here 3 months ago. So it was just trying to, figure it out and adjust, and it worked out in the end. So I can't complain at all.
It worked out. Your maturity, your growth, the lessons learned are so key. And also, like, there have been rewards along the way. So, can we just talk about God real quick?
Mhm.
Because, you said it worked out. Like, after all of that, you won a championship with the New York Liberty on your birthday. Game 5 of Liberty versus Lynx was October 20th. Your birthday is October 21st. So
Mhm.
essentially, at midnight, as you're bringing in your 23rd birthday, it had to have happened somewhere around the celebration, like the popping of champagne for the
Mhm.
championship. Did that mean anything to you after all you've been through that you get a championship on your actual birthday?
Yeah, it did. I mean, honestly, I was just in so much like it wasn't shock, but just more like a disbelief of how the year turned out. Because if you would have told me like in March, that would have been what happened in October, I would have told you like, all right, bro, relax. Like you're doing too much. So it was just the way it all worked out. But no, God is just. I said this yesterday. I don't remember who I was talking to, but I was like, man, I haven't questioned God on this journey so far. I'm not about to start questioning him now. And I really don't know why I get dealt the cards the way I do. But like I said, it's worked out for
Hmm.
me. God has allowed me to get here. He's allowed me to be here. He's allowed for, two of the best teams over the past 2 years to want me. And, I can't question that because I think like most people don't realize the emotional like toll all of it is. Especially like I'm still very young, like I'm only 23, so I'm still trying to figure out life on top of my job that is always constantly changing, and just trying to always like, be the best version of myself while I'm dealing with all of this. But no, I've always leaned on God and I'm gonna keep leaning on him. And like I said, I don't know why, a week ago I was with New York and this week I'm with Minnie, but I don't question him. I don't question his plan or his purpose because it always has worked out for me. So we're gonna keep riding with it, and I'm gonna keep showing up and letting, his light shine through me as much as possible.
I heard you have a tattoo and I think it's the first one you ever got. It says, "Without struggle, there is no progress." That was your first
Mm-hmm.
ever tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
So when did you get this tattoo? And at that point, why?
I got it because I mean that's just like at that point in time, it was just a constant reminder of myself. Like it's gonna be a struggle. Like life is not easy. It's never gonna be easy. And it's gonna come with the, tools that I mean at that point. I was dealing with what was I dealing with at 15, 16? I think it was around that time my hip had first started to become an issue. And if I was 16, I was turning 17 because I graduated high school at 17. So I didn't play but 8 games that season of high school. So I was dealing with that and, being told like I probably would never play basketball again and trying to figure out what to do and walking on crutches throughout my high school. It was just a lot. And especially when you go from being like the best player on your team to, having to sit there and just watch. It was very hard and very tough. And that was the first time I had ever dealt with an injury of that magnitude. So I think it was just like a reminder, like you have to go through something in order to get to the other side. It's never a one-way path. It's
Hmm.
gonna be some fight, gonna be some hell in there, but you got to get to the other side. So I feel like that was just the start of me starting to understand, like, and mature into ways of understanding, like, life ain't easy. I was the only child growing up, so I kind of got
Hmm.
everything. I was the baby, and I got, spoiled a little bit and handed to a little bit. So like, it started to really understand like life was bigger than that and mature in that level.
Hey guys, we got to go to break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Good Follow. Today's episode is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. I'm still here with the exclusive interview with Jaylyn Sherrod, newly of the Minnesota Lynx. Let's take a listen. So I know you're an only child, but it's interesting. I also feel like we've talked and you've talked about like I do my own. I'm very comfortable doing my own thing. Like in some ways, you're an introvert. Like how have you navigated being an introvert, but at the same time, maybe stepping up outside your comfort zone but also being yourself.
I would say for me, it's just about finding that balance. I think I said this my whole career, like who I am on a basketball court versus who I am on a day to day is kind of like two separate people. I feel like, and I've heard that a lot too, because people
You
always
like
like on the court.
Beyonce because Beyonce got her Sasha Fierce, and then Beyonce got regular Beyonce.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, I get it. Like when I was at Colorado, I got it so much. Like you're so quiet off the court, but on the court, you're so fiery and passionate. And it's just like I don't really know like how the switch flips. But I do know like it's just kind of who I am. I don't really like doing too much off the court. um,
Hmm.
I never have. I've always kind of stayed to myself and been comfortable in that. So, and I think also allowing my teammates to see that side of me helps. People can't like meet you where you are if they don't know you. I'm really big on
Hmm.
that. So, kind of like letting them into my world, like we would go to the movies, we would go out to eat, we would do different things that necessarily like I wouldn't have done unless they invited me out, unless they brought me along with them and stuff like that. So I try to like never turn down an offer to do something with teammates because I feel like that just kind of allows you to gel and build camaraderie and stuff like that together. So but no, I most of the time I'm chilling by myself. It's just me and my dog most times. So
What have you done so far with the links and the players? Have you had a chance to like mix in? Have any of them try to mix you in?
I mean, I just got here like 48 hours. So we haven't. I got here. We had a game, and then we came back to Minnesota, and so then today I've been moving because I had to like get my stuff in and move into the apartment and whatnot. So I really haven't had time to like do anything. Because like I said, it's only my second day out here. So well, I'm excited. I know they be out and I know they be out and about. I've seen the stud buzz and whatnot. So we'll see, Barry. We'll see.
Are you gonna make the stud red stream?
I don't know, man. I don't know if they asked me, I just said I don't turn down opportunities for teammates, so I can't go back on my word. Now, I was joking with him that I was gonna, I'll one day get a pink locker or something. I'll throw a lock in there or something. So we'll see.
I
We'll see.
I am screaming, not a single pink lock, just to out of
That's all
camaraderie
I
and
can't. I can't
solidarity.
do nothing more. Can't do nothing more for you. I'll give you one though.
Yo, so many teams could use a point guard right now. I'm sure you've seen all the different news and injuries and all the things. Like, why the Lynx? Why do you think this is the right fit? And what are you hoping to bring to this team?
Beyond popular belief, when you're in my position and you go undrafted and you kind of get dealt the cards you get dealt, you don't have the luxury of picking your opportunities. um, you just gotta go where you get them. And if God presents me with an opportunity, who am I to tell him no? So that's kind of where this move was and how we got to that point. In terms of like other moves, yeah, I mean I can't speak for other people, but I just know like for my situation, it just kind of happened the way it did. And many was actually when I went undrafted, the two calls I got to go to training camp was Minnesota and New York. Ultimately I decided to go to New York, but many has been the relationship has been there. My agent has had a relationship. Um we just decided to go to New York. But so yeah, it's been interest there. I know Cheryl came to a couple games my fifth year at Colorado, so it's been there. But I'm just excited. I think it's a good fit for me just because of like their for one defense, obviously. And then two, just seeing like you hear the too small gesture a lot when you're my size, but to see like C Will and T doing what they do at the level that they do in a system that kind of works to, who they are, plays to their strengths regardless of their size, and them being able to be so good in it, I think is just showing where I can go, showing, the next move for me. And so yeah, I'm excited, especially to be around people that I think has the same kind of MO as me in terms of
Hmm.
like defense and just being a dog and just, we on paper we might not stack up or you might not think of us as this and that, but they carry themselves with such a high standard and they carry themselves as with so much
Hmm.
confidence that it just kind of breathes through this team. And I mean, like I said, I ain't been here for 48 hours, but you can see that already. So I'm excited, and they're really good teammates to one another. Like it's a genuine
Hmm.
connection here. I think this is a genuine group of people. And like I said, this is all off 2 days of being on this side. But
Hmm.
from what
No,
I
for
see,
sure.
man, it's genuine, and they really care about each other. They really want to win. And when you got people that's very passionate about what they do, it's kind of hard to stop them. So I'm excited.
Yeah, for sure. I think that there's a lot that like of relatability between the players. I think you certainly fit the mold there, of maybe players that have been slept on or got a chip on their shoulder. And one thing about Cheryl Reed, man, she gonna bring it out and put a
Hmm.
squad together. So it's a really nice situation. And I think you don't even have to comment on this, but I think if it were the Liberty and the Lynx in the finals, I think you'd possibly be eligible to get a ring either way. But you don't have, so my sis staying with a contender, but we shall see how the season plays out. You mentioned though, Courtney and Natisha, but you've had a chance to learn from some very elite point guards.
Hmm.
When you were, I mean, that's part of the reason why you kind of had to wait your turn at the Liberty. Literally, you come in and it's one of the legends of the league in Courtney Vandersloot. This season, I know you were very close with Natasha Cloud and she was whispering in your ear. Even Sabrina, there's a lot to learn. Like, what did you take away from the chance to be that close to these types of star point guards?
I just learned a lot. Each and every one of them presented something different. Just to go, I went down the list like 2 months ago about what I learned from each one, but like Shu was more like a tactician type, like how to get your shot off, how to slow down and decel and picking spots, picking angles off the board. Like I just learned so much in terms of like how to work as a point guard in this league at my size from Sloop. Tosh, I love Tosh. You just kind of learn like I think the biggest thing I learned from Tosh was off the court, honestly, is just be yourself no matter what room you walk into. I think, I tend to shy away from things, and Tosh is total opposite. So being around somebody who is so proud and open and vulnerable with who she is and what she's about and the things she loves, it was just admiring to see,
Mhm.
especially a black woman in that space too. It was admiring to see. With Sab, man, Sab gets thrown so much that I think from her, I just learned to like weather the storm. I think people
Mhm.
don't realize the outside pressure Sab put on herself, but then also her own pressure. Sab wants to win. She's so competitive, and
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
just like it was so many times I would tell her, hey, bro, like breathe, bro. You ain't got to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You're human. So that, and then also I gotta throw MJ in there. MJ, my dog, man. I love Marie. Um,
Yeah.
she's just a silent assassin. She don't say too much, but I ain't never seen somebody move like that at all. Like the stuff she do is just crazy. Like I remember one time I asked her, I was like, "Bro, did you really like grow up doing that?" Because I mean, most people, you do the stuff that Marine do, they gonna be like, "Hey, bro, you doing too much." So it's just like, bro, the fact that she practiced that, she works at it, she's comfortable at it, she's confident in it. It's like, hey, bro, I can't be mad at you. It's crazy. I shake my head every time I see it. It's crazy. The stuff Marine be doing is.
That's actually funny when I found out that Marine Johannes is actually like, that's your dog. That was your
Hmm.
people's on the Liberty. Can we expect to see a little 1 foot, 2 foot from you ever? Or that's just Marines saying
Oh
at each
no,
other?
bro.
1 foot
No,
shots.
I told her, I said, I'll do one, and then we can change like the speed. We can swap it. So maybe one day, far future though. No near future, far future. But I don't know. It's fun. I used to like mess with her and like get in her workouts and try to do it, bro. It's crazy though. It's literally like, no, she's 101 for sure.
I'm gonna get you out on this because you are so many things, Jaylyn. You know, another cool part of your story is you have 3 degrees from Colorado. Am I correct in that? So take me through your degrees. Like my question is, with all of the success you were having in ball in college and like like building this program up to success, what was fueling you to succeed in academics as well?
Honestly, my mom instilled in me early, like you a student first, athlete second. That was her MO. She was, valedictorian. She was summa cum laude. My mom was all of that. So I kind of like ain't had no choice. I ain't had no choice, man. She was gonna snatch the ball away if I wasn't doing good at school. And I tell people all the time, like I don't like school. Like it's not that I like it. I'm just like it's a blessing, but I'm just good at it. So it's like I kind of like I don't know. And I also think like growing up and looking back at it, it was a discipline thing. Like it kept me disciplined. It kept me, grounded. It taught me like prioritization
Mhm.
and managing my priorities and knowing like, okay, you can't go out to school and party if you got a paper due the next day. You got an 8 a.m. class. But yeah, I think, my undergrad I got it in 3, and then my actual quote unquote senior year, I got a master's in leadership, and then my 5th year I started the criminal justice, which I just finished. So it was cool. I actually like didn't know what to do with myself this whole summer without being in school. It was the first summer I ever had where it was just ball and you go home. Like it was nothing else. I ain't had no schoolwork, I ain't had no homework. So it was different. It took a lot of adjustment, but I actually got out, started hanging out with the team a lot more and
Mhm.
doing things. So I wasn't just sitting in the crib. But yeah, it was an adjustment without school for sure. I'm actually taking a course starting next week because I couldn't. I don't know, bro. I miss school a little bit, so it's
Yeah.
just one course, but it's nothing crazy.
Guess what? For someone who's like, I don't really like school like that, you like it. You like you like
I
the
like my
drumbeat of
degree.
it.
I definitely like my degree program that I'm in right now, that I was in,
Yeah.
and just the criminal justice aspect. And I don't know, it gives me something to do other than basketball, honestly.
It's important to have something else that defines you as well and that you can pour into. And like, look at your
Mhm.
life, girl. You just getting started. You are 23. You got 3 degrees. Shout out to mom. You're a WNBA champion. You only play for contenders. You are an inspiration to come full circle. It's no surprise you got that kind of reception when you came back to play against the Liberty at Barclays. And as a broadcaster who's seen you through college, it's just been a pleasure to watch you grow and blossom and just see your maturity.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Anytime. Thank you for making time. All right, guys, that's it for this episode of Good Follow Show presented by DraftKings. Thanks for watching. Make sure that you subscribe, comment, engage, follow the socials, all the things. We drop every Tuesday and Thursday, and we'll see you for the next one.